My entire youth was spent on the lower ranch. These are my memories and anecdotes of my childhood on the ranch. My first memory with animals was when my dad brought home a white buck rabbit for an Easter present. Very soon it was evident my brother Daryl and I would not share one rabbit without having disagreements. As a quick fix, another white doe rabbit was brought home. The two rabbits were allowed to run all over the ranch. Soon there were more and more rabbits. The first issue was that the barn cats were killing the baby bunnies, much to the frustration of my brother and me. Dad's solution was to rid the ranch of cats. Too cute to eat, the rabbits were everywhere, digging under main buildings and creating structural damage. That was the end of the rabbits.
Dad had a few mother pigs, and when one would have more piglets than she could feed, the runts would be given to Daryl and me to feed with a milk bottle. I remember raising 2 pigs with bottles and later starting them on regular grain. Those 2 pigs would not associate with any other pigs in the fields. They would take baths in the creek, away from all other pigs, and would be much cleaner than any of the others. The pigs knew their names and would come when called, even from a great distance. When it was time to send them to slaughter, it was heartbreaking, but we understood from the beginning we would not have them forever.
As I grew older, I earned more responsibility, including gathering chicken eggs from the laying hens in the chicken house. When some of the hens set on their eggs, they'd peck me hard when I reached under them to get their eggs. Cleaning the chicken house was one job I did not enjoy. The stink of chicken manure motivated me to get the job done well and quickly. Mother decided to raise turkeys to supplement her grocery money. I remember having to herd the small turkeys into a building whenever it rained because they were not smart enough to get out of the rain and would drown. As they grew older, they began roosting on the house yard fence. Gobs of turkey manure would cover the yard fence and had to be picked up and hauled away. Guess who got to help do that?
As I grew older, I learned how to hand milk cows. I enjoyed doing that, even though I could not milk as fast as my brother. The milk was carried in buckets from the barn to the house where it was run through a separator, separating the cream from the milk. The cream was saved and sold to a local creamery in Bozeman every week. The skim milk was fed to the pigs. The separator was hand-operated, and I had to bring it up to a proper speed before it would separate the cream from the milk.
As I grew older, Dad would take me to the fields he was farming, allowing me to ride on the John Deere Model D tractor with him. It was big stuff for me to sit on Dad's lap and learn how to drive the tractor in the field. When I was 9 years old, Dad started me driving the John Deere Model A tractor, pulling a 4-section harrow to level the field he was plowing. Allowed to be by myself driving a tractor doing field work is a memory I will never forget.
The hired man that was driving grain trucks allowed me to drive one of the grain trucks back to the field from the granary. When I went through one of the gates into the field, I cut the corner quite short. His threat that if I knocked down the gate post, I would have to dig the hole and put in a new post caused me to be more careful through the gates from that time on. As I grew older, I was given the responsibility to drive grain trucks during harvest. I would drive alongside the combine so it could unload without stopping. Another lesson I learned was when taking grain from the combine Uncle Andrew was driving, I pulled away from the combine turning quite sharp, resulting in the back of the truck box nearly hitting the side of the combine cutting platform. He had to make a wide swing into the grain field with the combine to miss getting hit with the truck box. The next time we stopped to service combines, he told me of what I had done wrong. Fortunately, no damage was caused other than nearly causing Uncle Andrew an anxiety attack.
Due to the long hours between breakfast, dinner, and supper, we would have coffee breaks at 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. My mother and Aunt Ivy would make cookies, cake, and even sandwiches for us to keep us from getting hungry before the next meal. During harvest and haying, the families worked together. When we worked on the upper ranch, we ate the noon dinner meal at Aunt Ivy's. When we worked on the lower ranch, we ate the noon dinner meal at our house. The time when we were working together was a very enjoyable and learning experience. I was taught how to work with others, have responsibility, and establish good work ethics. It was a fun time in my life.
Dad's health issues kept him from the field, which created the proudest opportunity of my young life. I was allowed to drive the John Deere Model D tractor that pulled the John Deere Model 33 Hillside pull-type combine. Driving the tractor was a very important job. I had to have the proper ground speed so the cut grain fed into the combine for separating without over or underfeeding the separator. Dad and Uncle Guy had worked together for many years, so taking Dad's place and working with Uncle Guy was very special for me.
The ranches sold when I was 18 years old. My years on the ranches were the most rewarding years of my life. I not only enjoyed the farming and ranching, but I developed a strong family bond, never to be broken, with Uncle Andrew, Uncle Guy, and Aunt Ivy, and their family of 3 daughters and 1 son. If my asthma had not been such a major factor, perhaps I would have remained farming and ranching after Dad and the uncles retired.
The ranch auctions ended a lifetime of farming and ranching for the Birkenpass brothers and was a very emotional time for all family members. The ranch sale also ended my learning of Dad's and the uncles' ranching knowledge and their heritage of agriculture.
These are my memories.
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 This is my legacy.